Hello and welcome to Charch Chat here at Open Sports. I am Paul Charchian from LeagueSafe.com. Thanks for joining us for another edition of Charch Chat. This is one of those days when we talk about guys to pick up for this week. It's the free agent waiver wire edition of Charch Chat, and I got a lot of guys. Usually we're talking about three, maybe four guys. I got about 10 here to get to, so let's dive in. Beginning with Tatum Bell. Now, I was originally pretty skeptical because the running back by committee and everything, but I was heartened to see the 7 carries already, and the more I think about it, I think Peyton Hillis ends up being moved back to his natural spot of fullback, and while he'll still get most of the goal line work, it looks like Tatum Bell's going to get a lot of carries, and Selvin Young's groin may not get healthy for a few more weeks, so you can pick up. I don't love Tatum Bell. There's a reason he was out of the league, but you know what the heck? It's as a flyer. If you're one of those people who loves the Denver offense, I know there's a lot of you out there. Yeah, you could think about Tatum Bell. I like some of the other guys we're going to talk about later more. J.J. Arrington, 3 touchdowns in 2 weeks, which is pretty shocking, but somebody that you could pick up. Now, guys who need to score from away from the goal line through receptions and long runs are very, very scattered in their production, and usually it's very inconsistent with a good game and a bad game and a good game and a couple of bad games, but you could try Arrington, who's getting the ball a lot, and they seem to have a lot of faith in him, and he's certainly different from Hightower, and he seems to keep defenses on their toes, what I'm trying to say. Lance Moore is probably on a lot of leagues, but I know some of you dropped him when Marcus Colson came back, figuring, the end was near for Lance Moore and it was a nice run. But just a reminder that what had been really a wide receiver by committee approach, really Lance Moore's year is almost your number 1 now, and he's certainly the number 2 if Colson's not the number 1, and Colson may not be the number 1 because he's looking like just another guy. So Lance Moore looks like as much of a go-to guy in that offense as anybody. Ted Ginn is starting to look like a really good all-purpose kind of playmaker. He ran in a touchdown. He gets plenty of receiving yards and catches right now, and he's a return man. So depending on your scoring system, especially if return touchdowns can help you, Ted Ginn makes some sense here. Starting to get some separation from Greg Camarillo, who had been more consistent through about the halfway point of the season, but over the last few weeks, Ginn seems to be getting more of the work. Dolphins is hard to figure out as any team in football offensively, but I'm leaning towards thinking Ginn's a pretty good pickup. Here's one that I especially like. Amon Green had 2 touchdowns last week, and I like him because Steve Slayton is already complaining about getting worn down, and I think Amon Green's a good pickup because he'll continue to get goal line work. They don't, when a guy's starting to feel like he's banged up and tired, that's easy to take those goal line carries away because that's hard work. That's moving the pile kind of work, and Slayton's not that big anyway, so I think I really do believe Amon Green's going to keep that job through the rest of the year, and this is a Houston offense. It's very productive, and so in a touchdown-heavy scoring system, Amon Green is something you can definitely take forward for the rest of the season. T.J. Duckett has scored a couple of times. Actually, get this, he scored 2 times last week. He's got 6 touchdowns on the season, and clearly the goal line guy there. Both Maurice Morris and Julius Jones are not built for goal line work very well, and he's 6 touchdowns already. Matt Hasselbeck coming back, and so with Hasselbeck back, once he starts to get on the same page with his receivers for the first time all season, you got to figure there's going to be a lot more scoring opportunities and some opportunities for short yardage touchdowns for Duckett. Again, in touchdown-heavy leagues, he could make some sense. Speaking of the Seahawks, Deion Branch, it was nice to see him already leading the team in receptions and yards, and Corn Robinson just a couple of catches. Bobby Ingram been a total non-factor this whole season, which is shocking. I really thought this would be a good opportunity for him to step up. He's done nothing. So Deion Branch, somebody's going to catch some balls from Matt Hasselbeck. He's a good quarterback, and when he's in his rhythm, there's something to be done here. And I got to figure it's going to be Deion Branch. It looks like he's back and healthy enough after the heel injury, after the knee injury. So hopefully that's the case. Justin Gage is an interesting guy. He had the big game last week, 147 yards and touchdown. But going back and just looking through his numbers, he's been hurt for a lot of the season. When he's been healthy, he's played pretty well. He started 6 games. He's scored 4 times. He's had 2 nice yardage games, a 92-yarder and last week's 147-yarder. With Kerry Collins being asked to pass more and provide a more diversified offense for the Titans, I do believe that Justin Gage's numbers will continue to perform well. And who else is going to catch the ball? So there's nothing else. There's that. 2 more guys for you. I know there's a lot of pickup guys for 1 waiver wire. Hope you got 23 roster spots free. Lawrence Tynes got all the kicking duty for the Giants. People had given up on him. They dropped him. Everybody's got Carney. This is your chance if you're looking for a kicker to go get a kicker on the NFL's best team. Offensively, defensively, they're the best team in the NFL. It's not close. And so he should have plenty of scoring opportunities. So Larry Tynes is a good pickup for a lot of people. And lastly, Warrick Dunn. With Ernest Graham out for the season, Warrick Dunn, his role is going to be big. Cadillac Williams to a lesser extent, but I trust Dunn more. Didn't do much last week against the Vikings, but that's the Vikings. It's a very good run defense. Don't be surprised to see Dunn getting a lot of work the rest of the way. And yeah, they'll continue to work in a little bit of Cadillac Williams as well, but still prefer Warrick Dunn. All right, there you go. 1, 2, 3, 10 guys that you can pick up, most of whom, I think with the exception of Lance Moore, most of whom available on waiver wires across America. This is a great opportunity for you to shake up your roster as you try to carve out some final wins before the playoffs. Thanks for watching Charch Chat here at Open Sports. If you have any questions for our fantasy team, send your emails to fantasy@opensports.com.
So you think you can tackle a pro? There's only one way to find out. Click on fantasy@opensports.com.